there is a semester for a minor, and during this minor you can also apply for the entry course in the higher university. So when you graduate with your bachelor, you can immediately continue to another university to do your masters.
Okay, so I will first of all thank you for our listeners who listened to our first episode of the podcast. To be honest though, I'm very happy because it's beyond my expectation. I mean, of course, I share it to my friend and some of my mom's friend and my dad friend and my family, and their response is I don't know good. And there is some people that already talk to me that can they uh, can we invite them to our podcast. And I don't know, I'm very happy that this podcast inspiring some people in some ways. And yeah, I don't know, how about you though?
Well, I also received very positive feedback on our first episode. Was It was really nice. I received very good wishes from a lot of friends, um, from family members, from my parents. Although they don't really speak English, they said it was nice. They're always being very supportive. So
Yeah, my parents too.
that's cool. I received a really nice feedback from my sister-in-law. I'm really happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate a lot her feedback, and some really close friends here in the Netherlands, and classmates as well.
Like some people, I mean, some of my friends already and give me some ideas to what we should talk about in next episode. And your sister-in-law too, and such a wow, they are so very and care about this podcast too, and I am so happy to do it. And yeah, what are we going to talk in this episode, that right?
So today's topic: why and how we decided to stay and study in our home country, or go and study abroad. Um, um, so, what were the reasons for us to do it, and what are the experiences and the differences so far from what we saw?
Okay, so basically, I am not leaving my home country. I just leaving my hometown. It's not like you though, because you live your home country, right? So I'm living in Jember, East Java, Indonesia, and I'm study interior design in Surabaya, East Java, which is the bigger city. First of all, when I just like got into high school, to freshman high school, I decided to not study anything scientific and yeah, anything scientific or like medical, biology, chemistry, math in college, because like I'm so done with that that shit. And then I'm googling and then googling, and I got in for some information about this big university in Indonesia, um, about their major in Bachelor of Design, which is in product design. So from like literally from like second week in my freshman high school, I already knew that I will go to there. I will like learn how to draw. I mean, like learn how what is design, what is product design, and what is the prospect in the future. And then yeah, I'm signed up to product design for first of all in Bandung Institute of Technology. Yeah, and then my second opinion, like, so my first choice is product design in ITB, and then my second choice for college is product design in ITS, and then my third choice is interior design in ITS. And then sadly though, I don't get in ITB. So I got rejected in my first and second choice, and then I got into my third uh, choice, which is interior design in ITS, or 10 November Institute of Technology. And then, uh, how to get into university in Indonesia? The system is kind of um, how you say, it's like kind of long and difficult, because especially in my I don't know, my generation, my class, a class of 2016, because there is so much things going on, and then so much new regulation. And then so I got into interior design with no test, just from my I don't know what you call it, my report. So it's like just from my GPA. So there is no test to go in there, and it's just like,
From your grades transcript.
yeah, that what I mean. So from that, there is no test, and then and I'm one of the, I don't know, one of many, but it considered lucky in here when you got into campus or college with just a grade transcript, not test. Okay, but because back then um I really want to study product design, not interior design. So I got upset, really upset, and like, yeah, I mean like really upset. But in the other hand, so Bandung is so more far away from Jember than Surabaya, and my parents it secretly not approve me to go there. So yeah, I think like this is I don't know, like answer from God that I study in Surabaya because of my parents said so. First day after the announcement, I decided to not to go to interior design in Surabaya, because like, I don't know, I'm still disappointed of myself because I cannot get into product design, you know. And then I tell my friends, my classmate in high school, that I will reject this interior design, and I will test again to do naval architecture, yeah, in Surabaya. But one of my friend is like said this to me. Uh, his name is Bagos. I don't know, maybe my high school friend. If you listen to this, his name is Bagos, and he said like, L, you are so lucky to get into that university without test. You are very lucky. Why you don't just accept it? Because you are so lucky. You must be grateful. You you don't. Why you don't like think about us? That, I mean, he said like that. I mean, like, yo, he said like, okay, why you not be grateful? You should go in that campus. You don't think about us. I mean, still many of your friends not get into that campus. Meanwhile, you get into that campus just for from great transcript. You don't want to accept it. I mean, yeah, yeah. Basically, he said like that, and then it said like it just like I don't know. I'm just realized and oh yeah, okay. I'm wasting my change. Maybe I mean, I think like oh, maybe I will wasting my chance to study interior design. Maybe in the future I will be um something in interior design world, or maybe I don't know. I mean, like I'm just so selfish back then because I am not get into my I don't get what I want, but after my friend said so, and then I got to realize, and then oh yeah, I'm still lucky. Then my friend who needs to study again to get into their college, their campus that they want. So I go to Surabaya, but yeah, and then because there is no design school in Jember, that's why I go to with Surabaya or Bandung, and then I got accepted to Surabaya, and then yeah, I study interior design in Surabaya for 4 years, and I'm so happy though. I mean, like in the first semester, I just realized that ah, there's a reason why I don't get into product design in ITB or in ITS, because your product design is so hard. I mean, I got a friend from product design, and they are so I don't like they are so diligent, they are so creative, they are so passionate about it, and I will like wow, they are so mind blowing. And then maybe if I get into there back then, got accepted to product design, maybe I will not I don't finish it because the people who study product design, you big respect for you all, because I know what you've been going through and how much money you waste for your project, and it's a big respect for you guys. And then yeah, so basically that's my story why I left uh Jember to go to study interior design in Surabaya.
Now, when you
Yeah,
think about it, well, it was a good choice or not?
I think it is a good choice though, because I remember that I I can promise myself, if I don't get to product design back then, I will study again, and will I will choose naval architecture in ITS, and I need to study again for the
Okay.
test. And then I realized that I am so lazy back then. I mean, until now, but then this is a good choice though, because I really enjoy myself study interior design with all ups and down, with all of the drama. But yo, I'm learning in this, and I'm feeling myself much better than 4 years ago.
Yeah, I I understand. Um, I've been thinking like for a long time about the choices that we made in the past and etc. And I came to my own wisdom about it that
Mm-hmm.
the choices that we made back then, and when we go back to them thinking about it, we should not be sorry, because at least in my opinion, because we wouldn't be the people that we are now without these things happening. And I'm glad where I am at now. And even when I go back to some situation in the past, I only consider it as a experience, not as a something to be sorry of.
Yeah, so never regret what happened with us in the past, because there is always a reason why that happened, right?
Yeah, indeed. Try to go back to the past and then fix it. I like watching fantasy movies,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's possible. And even if that's possible, I'm a strong um, defendant of the time paradox theory that even if you try to go back and change something, it's still gonna end up you in the same situation that you're now.
Yeah, that's true though. But yeah, maybe we can learn. I mean, there's so many of time travel movies and series, and all you guys know that maybe I can pick some example like Project Almanac or Umbrella Academy, which is they always go back in time to fix something, so there is no no I don't know, like no big things happen in the future, but when they back to the future, there is always consequence.
Of course, of course, and I remember my first experience regarding this time paradox and the consequences coming back to your present. It was the movie Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Uh, Extremely great movie. It was so full of effects and great actors, and it taught me so much at such a young age. I think first movie that I watched, I was around the like 8 or 9 years. I really loved this movie, and after that, after I came to university here, I really liked Rick and Morty, which is kind of a spin-off, in my opinion, of Back to the Future.
Okay, that's a very interesting story. But can you tell us though why you left your home country to study in the Netherlands?
Well, why? Um, I think I have to go back to maybe my secondary school. Um I think I was about fifth or sixth grade, and now I'm just thinking about it. Like back at that time, I think some of the friends of my mother, they already had their children studying abroad, but at this point it was the UK. It was really a trend that a lot of Bulgarian students after high school they go to the UK. Um, so I was really passionate about it, like leaving the country and studying somewhere abroad since then. I think I was, yeah, at that time I started attending English courses at the American University in Bulgaria, which is
Mhm.
in my local town. So almost every day after school, so basically I come from a village. The school in my village closed when I was after I was first or second grade, so I had to go to the nearby city. So I had to travel by small school bus to go there, and after that I had to travel. After I became fifth grade, I have to travel with another bus to the bigger city where is the American University in Bulgaria. The city is called Blagoevgrad, and ever since me leaving high school, my life revolved around this city because my mom was also working there ever since I remember, actually. and my brother was going to high school there. Then I also went to high school there. Um, yeah, so I had the passion to leave the country and study abroad since then, but at that time the picture wasn't that clear, and I was considering going to the UK. But
Mm.
with the time and me going and studying in the mathematical and sciences high school in Blagoevgrad, I got really interested in studying software engineering, and I was doing. We had coding classes in C++. It was, I think, the first language that I learned. Then we did in web development and web coding. I learned yeah, a lot of different languages, and I was quite convinced that I want to continue my studies and become a software engineer after after I graduate high school and after I graduate university. Um, Years later, maybe before my maybe not my final year, but a year after that at high school, I I started researching more and more about schools and undergraduate programs abroad, and I was still following the English courses at the American University. So I finished the courses. I went for a test for an exam, TOEFL test. I received a good score at it, so I could uh, apply for many universities. But then I had to make a choice, where do I want to go, and then I started making research where it's good. At that time it was about 2015, 16, when the things with Brexit started coming out, and it was really uncertain what's gonna happen, if and how long it's gonna take for them to uh, yeah, go out of the EU, and how expensive the taxes are going to become, like the tuition fees for universities. And not I'm not coming from a very wealthy family. Um, my parents are well educated people, but we are not of a rich background. So I had to set out my choices, where do I want to go, and I consider maybe I was a bit too lazy to try and make it for a scholarship to get some kind of free um, studies in the UK. But then I looked to other options, countries in the European Union.
Mhm.
There were quite some interesting options, especially in the northern part of Europe. Options like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and I think Germany, and also Belgium, and of course the Netherlands. Um, so the countries like Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, and Germany as well are offering free undergraduate education. So if you're a European Union citizen, you don't have to pay any tuition fees. But
Mhm.
I think I kind of realized for myself that I'm not gonna be able to survive a little bit the climate of these countries,
Mm.
because the climate could be quite um,
Cold, right?
fairly sad, depressing, fairly sad,
Okay.
depressing, because yeah, in the winter you could know that countries in the very north and in the very south, in the north circle and in the south circle,
Mhm.
are having this so-called dark days where you have sunlight for approximately 1 hour a day, and then the other 23 hours of the day are just darkness. And of
Yep.
course, you have the cold weather, which is also, yeah, not something very very enjoyable. And we are students, and yeah, these are one of the best years in our lives. And if you maybe have to spend it in this type of environment, I thought, yeah, maybe it's not gonna be the best thing ever. So I narrowed down my choices to Netherlands and Belgium. Although I was accepted to Denmark and Sweden, I decided not to go for it, and then I got accepted in the Netherlands, in Fontes, and also in Leeuwarden. I forgot the name of the university there. And then I had to think, where do I want to go more? In both cities, there was Bulgarian community already. Like a lot of Bulgarian students were going and studying there. Um, um, Maybe the last thing that settled down my choice was the direct flights from here, from Eindhoven to Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. Maybe to some people it's a stupid thing, like, yeah, just making choice of the university because there is airport, but sometimes this is quite in handy, especially if for the first time you're going to be living alone by yourself. Um, coming here, it was really uh, interesting experience. I have never been to these northern countries, and I didn't know exactly what to expect. Although I met with already few students who graduated or were still studying in the Netherlands, but still, if you don't feel it by yourself, you can only just listen about it, and you never know what is it exactly. I could say that mm, it was actually very welcoming environment when I came. um, Also, I've heard and I've read some articles about something called honeymoon period, where you find yourself in a new environment, and you basically in the beginning fall in love with it and really like it. But after, it usually it's about a month and a half, 2 months, and you really love it, and after that time it's not very pleasant. Truth be told, it's not a very pleasant experience.
Mhm.
I had many times the thoughts, I want to go back to Bulgaria, but I didn't. And but at this point, the opportunity of having the airport with direct flights from here to Bulgaria was a gateway for me. So yeah,
Mhm.
whenever I had some kind of vacation, I would just try to book some flights and spend some time back home, because yeah, it's like for first time leaving home for that long, being by yourself. It's rough, but I survived my first year here in the Netherlands studying software engineering. I started working almost immediately when I came. I started working in a warehouse. It was really cool experience. I appreciate really this experience, and it was really nice that they decided to hire me. I have a very nice experience from this company, and I learned a lot from it. And because of maybe the experience there and the company, my interests changed a little from studying software engineering to learning more about logistics and production, and like going deeper into it. So after year and a half in software engineering, I was also not that happy with it anymore. I was doing projects and exams and attending classes, but yeah, I realized that in I don't know, 4 years time, I don't want to do this as a real job. So I changed courses to industrial engineering at the same university, and now it's like way better. But also I would like to talk about uh, studying in Bulgaria. Basically, I was thinking a little bit of some options to study in Bulgaria, but not that much, especially since I got accepted quite early to study abroad. Um, I think before starting my last year in high school, I already had the test score, and I started applying. The first results came by, I think, in January 2017. So I was in my first semester of last high school year. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not that. Maybe I shouldn't, yeah, really consider any choices to study in Bulgaria and stay in Bulgaria. Um, Now that sometimes I'm thinking about it, I, I did a good choice, and it came to me as an opinion that if I would have stayed in Bulgaria, I wouldn't have become so independent, such an independent individual, and I wouldn't have adulted, matured that fast. Uh, when I came here, I was just becoming uh, 19. I think when I first came, I was still 18, just fresh out of high school. I was just a kid, didn't know what is going on with me. But
Yep.
different experiences here, and um, facing a lot of obstacles and finding a way to overcome them. It was the process was not nice, but the experience now, it's really valuable to me, and I really value the people who are around me at that time, and some of them who are still around me. They helped me a lot with a lot of advices and a lot of actions on how to become a better, I don't know, individual.
There's a good people all around you that always give you advice, and and you accept it, and you will be better. And
There is a lot of people that like to give advice and suggestions and put their nose in your business, but it really depends on whom you trust and whom you not. and with the time you learn whom really is minding your good and not. And yeah, also I think a little bit that there was some kind of mm, gentle push from my parents to study abroad. They were like, yeah, you should go for it, consider it,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be good. And yeah, as I said, now that I'm here, I appreciate it that they really were
Supporting you.
supporting
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, can I ask like in what year do you go to college? Because maybe our listener got confused.
So I started university at 2017.
Okay, and then you change your
I
major.
changed major in 2019 in February.
Okay, so you study industrial uh,
Yes, now I'm doing industrial
engineering
engineering.
in.
We are at Fontys University of Applied Sciences in Eindhoven. Um, I'm already year and a half in 2021. It's gonna be 2 years. It's in, it's really interesting to me this whole major. I really like it. We have really interesting courses in logistics, production, in finances. Also, we have physics and calculus and statistics, and it's really great. We also have a lot of interaction with
Company.
companies and organizations, um, production companies, and currently I'm doing a group project in a production and logistic company. Last semester I was doing a group project in a quality certification company. The people and professionals that I get to meet there are really opening my
Knowledge.
scope,
Okay.
and I'm really always happy to learn something new from them.
Yep. And your project with companies is always real project, right?
So during the first year, we usually do fictional projects. We do 4 fictional projects, and they're like related to different elements of the whole industrial engineering, the whole industry. Uh, for example, in the first year, we had to develop a company that was almost bankrupt, which is a bicycle production company, or company of which is producing different types of household appliances. And now this real company, we are trying to improve their logistics model, where we try to really analyze every single piece and try to see where exactly is for where do exactly they have some bottlenecks, or where their processes could become
Okay, that's very interesting, and there's a lot of things that you can learn from that, right? Because there's a literally real company, right?
of course. So
Mm.
well, the system here in the Netherlands, it's after almost 4 years here, I'm still struggling to understand it perfectly. But
Mm-hmm.
students, even since junior high school, they get to kind of pick what they're going to do. Like, are they going to develop some kind of profession in like more simpler manner in working as bakers or chefs or hairdressers, and then they don't really get this type of maybe bachelor recognized diploma. It's a different type of diploma, but I think if you're really going to for this type of profession, you shouldn't be even really considering going to a special university for it. I think the schools where you meet with these professionals and chefs and artists in the field are better experience. And then you have schools like mine, which is kind of a college, where
Mm-hmm.
it's called University of Applied Science, where
Mm-hmm.
you are doing a lot of real life projects, and in the course it's incorporated doing a lot of internships uh, in real life companies where you develop a lot of experience and knowledge in the field itself. And then there is the top, the highest kind of university, where are the theoretical university, where like there you get master's degree, and the whole study experience, learning experience, it's more theoretical. You don't get to you're not sent and you're not required from the university to be attending and doing projects in real life companies.
Okay, so if you will like study master, you need to, I don't know, like choose a different university. So I mean, your
Yes,
university right
you
now
need to
there is.
choose. You need to choose a higher university like the Technical University of Eindhoven, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have to do some kind of entry tests and entry courses, and then you can do your masters there.
Okay, so in your university right now, it's just undergraduate studies. Ah, that's interesting though, because wow, that's new for me. I don't know because in here we have undergraduate, master, and what is it called
PhD.
PhD in one university. So we we don't have to change university except you need you you need to change your study. You know what I mean? Like for me, in my campus for design, basically there is no master in design in my university. But if I want to continue my studies in master in design, I need to change uh change my campus, but like for civil engineering and architecture and some kind of like industrial engineering, you can go to master in the same campus, like that. And you mentioned earlier that you change your major, right, from computer engineering, right, to
Software engineering.
sorry, to from software engineering to industrial engineering. So how easy the process?
The process is extremely easy. You just go to the website, you apply, you get an interview, you talk with the people from the industrial engineering course, and
Mm-hmm.
they have to decide if you're eligible to the course or not. That's all.
Okay, so there is no like converting your grade or your GPA or something,
Um, Basically,
the
because
regulation.
I'm applying for the same university, but just a different course.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all my documents are already there, and here in the Netherlands, it's made very easy that a lot of your documents and grades, etc., are uploaded to one platform
Mm-hmm.
where I think, if not all, most of the schools can use.
Oh, okay. But if you change different into different university, is the the process is still easy or a little bit hard?
Well, I think it would be just a little bit harder, but not that much, because if it's the same level of university, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I have to apply for entry levels. Because even
Okay.
when I came here to the Netherlands, I didn't do any entrance tests. I just applied with diploma,
Mm-hmm.
and my grades from the national examinations at the end of the high school.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and during the studies, during my program, like during this course that I'm doing now, there is a semester for a minor, and during this minor you can also apply for the entry course in the higher university. So when you graduate with your bachelor, you can immediately continue to another university to do your masters.
Wow. Wow. That's so very, I don't know. I think that's amazing. But in here, it's different. You need to
Mm-hmm.
go. Uh, you say that you only maybe you will need your exams, national exam certificate, right, to change
Yeah,
campus,
the diploma.
the diploma. But in here, you need to test again with the juniors, like below you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to test again, and there is so much people is your like your enemy. I mean, like your, you know, and there is
Your
still
enemy.
like the enemy because like junior enemy, and then you need to study again. You need to change your I mean like study back from zero, and yeah, I think like that is so much I'm not saying like it's so much complicated, but it need a lot of study. That's why I got a lot of friends. So this the unique fact from my major, like interior design. So basically most of my friends is at the beginning is don't didn't want to study interior design, but they got accepted in interior design. So yeah, they go to campus in the first semester, but in the second semester there's a lot of people like disappear, like disappear, change campus, something like that. But mostly they mostly uh they say it at the first semester, like, oh my god, interior design is not me, I don't want to study interior design or something like that. I will try to uh to to go to test again, and I will change my campus or my major, something like that. But after first semester and the second semester began, most of them like some of them is like disappear, but some of them is like ah, I'm too lazy to study again because you know like they used to in the one semester they used to not study because it's design, so a lot of practice, and then when they want to study again, like they feel lazy, like okay, I'm too lazy to study again. I will try my best to survive this this major, and they finally did it. Yeah, it basically that's I don't know, it's funny story or like kind of interesting story because yeah, most of my friend, even myself at the beginning, didn't want to go to this interior design, right? Interior design school, right? But at the second semester, third semester, and so on, I feel like
You
we
just
are
see
so
people
yeah.
disappearing, and only like the strong staying there. Yeah, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, but they for real, though, this experience. Some of my friends like I can reach reach out with them anymore because I don't know where are they right now. I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
But who cares even?
No, no. I mean, like, no. Well, I mean, sometimes we still care and we wonder that, oh, where is that boy from there? What? I mean, like, we get in together. Why we don't graduate together? You know what I mean? But yeah, shit happens, so they disappear. Because here is tough though, because like campus life is so much different than high school
Of
life,
course, but I think that's
especially.
that's everywhere. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
that that's only
everywhere.
there. Like I remember
Yeah.
when we entered software engineering, we were 400 students at second semester. We were, I don't know, 200 at third semester. We were, I don't know, 75 or something like that.
Oh my
So a
god.
lot of people dropped out because their the the level that they accept in the university is like not like not very
Not
high.
that.
They don't do any entry test, so you just come with your diploma, and then a lot of
Hmm.
people disappear. And like they thought, yeah, we're just gonna come here, learn software engineering from scratch. It's easy, but fairly said, most of the teachers at that course, to my opinion, not very developed in I mean, they were developed in their field, but they were not developed in the field of teaching that much.
Ah,
And
okay.
a lot of
I
people
see.
who expected that they might just come here and learn coding and developing from scratch, just like quit or yeah, were kicked out. Also, a lot of people were
Mm.
kicked out. I think because my previous background from high school in coding, that's what it helped me get through it, and the hard mathematical stuff also. And yeah, but as you said, like high school, you just pass, but in this universities, you really have to know your shit. But I don't
Yeah,
think it's
that's
it's too
true.
bad to change majors and
Major,
etc.
yeah.
Because I also, as you were saying, I also started with the freshman. I was a
Hmm.
freshman after a year and a half in the university. I was again a freshman in February, but it was a great experience. And
Hmm.
this gets me back to some advice in high school from my philosophy teacher. He was like, guys, you will not listen to me now, but you consider that I was right when you become adults. He said, take one gap year after high school, really think about what you want to do, and then do it. Because now you're just kids, which, like most of you, you're just kids which don't know what you want to do with your lives.
Oh my god, that's so kind of your teacher. Because in here, gap year is kind of big bad things.
Yeah, of course, it's the same in Bulgaria. Like only here in the Western countries, they consider like getting a gap year as something quite okay. In It's the same thing in Bulgaria. Like if you share with your parents, like I'm gonna go get a gap year, my parents, I think we would discuss about it and they would support me. But on the other hand, when they start talking like with some of their friends and etc and like
Yeah.
relatives, and
Oh
they
my
say, oh,
god.
he's taking a gap year, they'll be like, oh, he's a lazy donkey and he's not
Yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
anything,
Gossips.
which is so stupid.
Tea. But in the other hand, too, my parent will mad at me if I take gap year. They will say like, "You wasting your time. Why you not study? Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Yo, chill." I don't know, but yeah.
Well, it started to get less frequently and less frequently. Um, so like since the lockdown, as you and most of our listeners already know, I went to Bulgaria for like almost 2 months. But since then, I haven't been going back to Bulgaria, and not only because of the strong measures, but yeah, I want to go back and see my family. But yeah, I need, it's like except that I don't have so much things to go back to.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, like I would say two times a year.
wow. Okay. Myself, I mean, if me, I think I go home like every 3 months. I mean, when in I'm in my freshman though, I don't know. I think I go home every 2 months, and as time goes by, like every 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, I think. Yeah, but yeah, because it's I go home by train, right? And the train is just like 4 hours away. Like Jember is 4 hours away by train from Surabaya, and the ticket it's kind of cheap. So if there's a long weekend or maybe just regular weekend and I need to go home, or basically I just need some money, I will go home for the weekend and then back again on the Monday. So tell me about your, I don't know, like experience in the Netherlands. I mean, like, are there some culture shock or something like unforgettable memories?
I would say that our listeners will have to wait and see for this new cultural experience in the next episode.
Wait, I will say something first to add. Like, okay, guys, thank you for listening to this episode about our reason why we left our hometown for studies. And if you want to listen, like, our experience for study, something like that, so just tune in into our next episode. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to this podcast.